you cultivate and awaken your inner queen. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Welcome to Lady Rose Queendom. Yeah. Oh, Lady Rose Queendom. Well, Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose Queendom. Come on, Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose Queendom. Yeah. Lady Rose. Lady Rose. Your crown is waiting.
Hello and welcome back to Lady Rose Queendom. I am Lady Rose, and I just want to touch on this Karmelo Anthony trial case and the new dream team that they have put in place to work out his appeal. But before we do that, let's do some pleasantries. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I enjoy engaging with you in the comment section. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I think you would enjoy the commentary. And if you're not getting your notifications, go to that notification bell and make sure you're tapping on all so that you can know every time that I go live. All views, remember this one, all views expressed in this live, they're all alleged. They're in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes only. Some material used in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use, Section 107, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. This is my fair use disclaimer, and I'm invoking it today because I will be using some information that I found out here on the interweb. Yes. We're going to be discussing a major development in the Karmelo Anthony case. Reports indicate that 6 attorneys have joined Anthony's legal team as the case moved towards its next phase. We know that he was given a sentence. He was convicted of the crime. He was given a sentence, and he is now in prison in the Texas Correctional, in Texas Department of Corrections. He, I'm sure, his life has been altered considerably. I don't think that the question or the debate has ever been, did he do it? Because Karmelo himself said that he did it. Excuse me. He said that he did it. The thing is was the trial fair? And I think that's what the entire argument and what people are missing. Was it a fair trial? There were so many things that I think that we didn't zero in on. One thing for sure is that to be tried by a jury of my peers would mean that my peers need to somehow or another favor me. They need to look like me. They need to be in the vicinity that I'm in. They need to represent who I am. You are not my peer if you have never been in the spaces I've been in. So if you have ever gone to a jury selection, it is very important that we answer those jury summons and that we show up at the court ready to serve on a jury. I myself served on a federal jury a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years at this time. It was during the time that my mother was sick. So I want to say around 2023 was when I served on that jury. And it was a big case of some illegal substances. I'll put it that direction. And it was a federal case. Now, mind you, I had served on the county jury a year before. So I was kind of like, why am I being called again so soon? Because it seems like every time my name pops up, I get jury duty. And even my supervisor said that you get the most jury duty. Right. So I went and talked to the clerk, and she said, well, you serve for the county. This is federal. It's totally different. So where your name won't be called for so many years for federal and so many years for county, they don't intertwine. They're separate entities. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So I actually ended up serving on the jury. The gentleman whose jury I was on looked like me. He looked like me. And I took what I did very serious because I had this gentleman's life hanging in my hands. And that was something that um they kind of, during the trial, I wanted to make sure I had all the evidence, that I absorbed all the evidence. And the judge, we had a very good judge at the trial. He actually came to the back to the jury room, gave us instructions, kind of walked us through it. When we got stumbled in making a decision, he came back to the jury room and he wanted to know, was there anything we needed to know? Was there something else we needed? We needed some more evidence. He went and got the evidence, had them bring it to us so that we could review the evidence again, so that we could make a decision and be done with it. And I appreciated that because being a juror is not easy. You got to stay awake. That's one thing. Fighting your sleep, because I work, although I work every day, my work is busy. I'm not sitting in a seat with my legs crossed and waiting for a break to go drink a glass of water or get a sip of water. So being a juror is it's a tasking situation. Now, if you like me, you want to go to sleep sometimes. You got to fight that sleep so you can stay awake, pay attention, and you want to make sure you're paying attention to detail because they're not giving you a pen and paper. You're having to look at this stuff and keep it in your head. And then when you go to the juror room, you can write it down because they do give you notes back there. But as far as just you writing something down while you're sitting in the jury box, no, that's not happening. And when I served on the jury, I was not chosen as an alternate. I was actually chosen as a juror. So because I think you do so many on the jury, and then you have two alternates. They dismissed our alternates because no one had any issues and had to leave. So the alternates did not actually have to serve. Anyway, moving forward, so the Karmelo Anthony case, we know that there were not any African American jurors. There were chosen. There was 3 that were left at the end, and they actually dismissed them. The prosecutor used there are 3 strikes to dismiss those 3 jurors. And there were so many things that are coming out now because people started, once the case was completed, they started sending in requests to get evidence. And they were finding out that there was so much evidence that the judge suppressed, didn't allow to be seen, didn't allow to be heard. There was a lot of evidence, right? A lot of evidence. We've had people take this video that was shot, analyze it in different ways, unpixelize it, repixelize it, all kinds of things. I've seen um so many angles of this video. I've seen it move backwards, forward, and I'm not even going to touch on any of that because I think that's a lot to deal with. But we do know there was a lot of evidence that was suppressed by the judge. We do know that the judge has abruptly retired. I believe he was planning on retiring at the end of the year, Judge Roach. Um, but he actually retired early. So I just think that this is a lot to take in, but I think Americans need to be cognizant of what is actually happening in our country. The reports indicate that 6 attorneys have joined Anthony's legal team as the case moves into its next phase. This announcement has sparked a great deal of conversation online, with supporters and critics weighing in on what could this mean moving forward. Now, whenever a high profile case attracts additional attorneys, Lord have mercy, people naturally begin asking questions. Why are more lawyers joining? What role will they play? What does this signal? What does this signal a new legal strategy? But I will tell you this, and I saw this yesterday in the comment section of someone's post. I don't know because I've watched several different videos about this. And the person asked, where was this legal team when Karmelo was fighting, when they were actually sitting at the case, wondering when it would happen? When they were deciding, what would happen or who they would get to be his attorney. Where was this dream team at that time? And I think a lot of people and attorneys, because attorneys normally don't work for free, but from what I understand, these attorneys are actually doing this pro bono. Ben Crump, I believe, has gathered this group together because he was the one that did the announcement. But I will tell you this one thing to understand is that this case is complex. It requires attorneys with different areas of expertise. So I think that they're bringing in the amount of attorneys that they brought in is probably one of the good things, right? Because you have lawyers that focus on criminal defense, and then we have some that specialize in appellate work, which is the appeal process, and then we have those who specialize in constitutional law and those who specialize in civil rights issues. So I think with them building a team, this gives them a larger view of what they're dealing with, right? And also building a larger legal team allows the attorneys to divide responsibilities. There's not just one attorney that has a paralegal who's helping them gather information and doing the work. A thorough review this big team of attorney will be able to do a thorough review of every aspect of this case. They'll be able to go through everything with a tooth comb because the team is so big. Another reason people are paying attention to this development is because the attorneys reportedly joined the case on a pro bono basis, like I said. For those unfamiliar with the team, pro bono means that legal services are provided without a charge to the client. We do know that Karmelo, when he filed his appeal, Michael, his previous attorney, filed his appeal. That appeal said that he could not afford an attorney, and he was asking for a court-appointed attorney for his appeal process. Attorneys sometimes take on high-profile cases because they believe important legal questions are involved, because they support a particular legal argument, or because they feel their expertise can contribute to the case. As expected, reactions online have been mixed. People have been saying this, they've been saying that, and no one has the same thoughts. Maybe a couple of people, but for the most part, people are really, really into this case. And I will tell you this, it's something about legal cases that sparks the tinfoils and the antennas to go up, and people want to actually solve the case, right? So, regardless of our personal opinions, one principle remains important. Every individual involved in the legal system is entitled to legal representation. That is what our laws say. The justice system is designed to allow both sides to present their argument and for courts to evaluate those arguments based on the law and the evidence. As this case continues to develop, many people will be watching closely to see what motions are filed, what legal arguments are presented, and how the courts respond. The addition of 6 attorneys certainly suggests that the legal team is preparing for a detailed and comprehensive review of the case. And of course, none of us can predict what the outcome will be. None of us can. We can guess, we can think about it, we can cause some more arguments, but none of us can predict what will actually happen. Legal proceedings often take time. In appellate cases, they can involve extensive reviews of trial records, court rulings, procedural issues. What we're gonna talk about. Let's look at this team. Um, Excuse me, you guys. I don't know why I woke up with a stuffy nose this morning, and it's quite early, so I'm trying to get this out so everybody can see it this morning. Give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to get this out so that everybody can see it, because this will be a preview. All right, let's go. So these attorneys have joined his case, and we're going to talk about each attorney, what they represent, who they are, and what that looks like for them. I'm trying to get the names of everybody because we want to talk about these guys. So the team will be headed up by a gentleman by the name of Russell Wilson. And let me share my screen really fast. Russell Wilson has a plethora. He's a long resume. Russell Wilson II, he's an attorney. He began his legal career in Dallas after graduating with honors from the University of Oklahoma College of Law. He formed his own practice with a focus on both civil and criminal matters. His early professional goals were to meet the needs of the average member of the community and provide top-notch legal representation to an underserved clientele. I'm sorry. While he began as a generalist, his success in criminal cases soon became apparent. Russell was most serious about his mission to help people. He knew that clients facing criminal matters could suffer dire consequences without savvy and knowledgeable representation. Investigative aspects of his legal representation intrigued, intrigued to him. Often infractions and procedural mistakes are made by the prosecution without a thorough and aggressive defense. Defendants can easily become another statistic. Let me go back to this part that I think I didn't read properly. Investigative aspects of his legal representation intrigued to him. Intrigue to him. I think something's off right there. Anyway, his education, he graduated from the University of Oklahoma College of Law, which is in Norman, Oklahoma. Woohoo, right down the road. He has a JD, which is a Juris Doctorate that he received in 1995. So that means he has over 30 years in this practice. Order of Barrister in 1995, Law Review, American Indian Law Review, Articles Editor 1994, 1995. I'm sure that's his what he wrote his articles on to get his Juris Doctorate. His bachelor's degree is from the University of Oklahoma, Norman, Oklahoma. He was admitted to the bar in 1995. He has served on the U.S. District Court, Northern District of Texas, Southern District of Texas, Eastern District of Texas, and the U.S. Court of Appeals Fifth Circuit. His professional associations, you can read through those because we have plenty more attorneys to talk about. That is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will be leading the team. He is the gentleman who will be the first in charge. He will be the header-upper, is from my understanding. And then next in line, we have Mr. Gary Bledsoe. Mr. Gary Bledsoe is a part of the NAACP. He's a board member. Gary Bledsoe, Regent Gary Bledsoe, is president of the Texas NAACP and has held that position since being elected in 1991. The Austin lawyer, if you know where Austin, Texas is, that is where our capital is in this big, beautiful state. He specializes in public interest law, employment, and civil rights law, has a long-standing relationship with the NAACP as a member of its national board since 2003, 23 years of experience in the NAACP as a member of its national board, and is currently the chair of the National Criminal Justice Committee of the NAACP. Bledsoe's ties with the NAACP enable him to make substantial civil rights changes, which include his handling of racial discrimination complaints against the Austin Department of Public Safety that dismantled racial barriers that prevented minorities and women from becoming Texas Rangers. Yoo-hoo! That's a great one. His involvement in the Cedar Avenue case resulted in heightened public awareness of the Austin Police Department's mishandling of minority youth and led to widespread changes in how police abuse can be handled. The landmark settlement resulted in the creation of a scholarship program for college-bound minority youth. Bledsoe also negotiated an African American student scholarship program with HEB. If you know, HEB is one of the big chains of grocery stores in the state of Texas, which provides $25,000 in scholarship for students attending Texas Southern University, one of our HBCUs, Prairie View A&M University, where they got a lot of my money, and my daughter is an alumni. Houston Tulsa University, which is in outside of Austin, Texas, but is another one of our HBCUs. Bledsoe's legal acumen has earned him an AV rating according to his prestigious legal publication, Martindale Hubbell, the second highest rating available for lawyers. Bledsoe has received several Lawyers of the Year awards from the Texas Attorney General and the Travis County Bar Association, the Austin and National NAACP, and the Austin Area Urban League, among others. He also received the Kelly Alexander State President of the Year award, the Juanita Jackson Mitchell Award for Legal Advocacy, and the Benjamin Hooks Keeper of the Flame Award, and is on the Houston Hall of Fame at Riverside General Hospital. All have recognized him for his legal acumen and civil rights efforts. He earned a doctorate of jurisprudence from the University of Texas School of Law, where he is the permanent class president of the class of 1976. We're going to welcome Gary Bledsoe to the team. Let's see who's next on the team. Next, we have Michael Ware. Oh my goodness, Michael Ware, I had a hard time finding a lot of his information, but I did find something on Michael Ware. Michael Ware, let me see if I can post a picture of Michael. He is third in line in this group of people that will be representing. I don't think I pulled it over, but we're going to talk about Michael. I don't think I have a picture up of him, but we're going to share what I found about Michael Ware. Michael L. Ware, the wrongful conviction fighter, now joining Karmelo Anthony's appeal. When people hear the name Michael L. Ware, they may not immediately recognize it. But inside Texas courtrooms, innocent organizations, and criminal justice circles, Michael Ware has built a reputation as one of the most respected criminal defense attorneys in the state. And I talked to someone yesterday who told me that this was a bad man. That's what they told me. He was good at what he does. He's very thorough, and he makes sure he does the job. Now he has joined the appellate team representing Karmelo Anthony, and his background may be uniquely suited for the battle ahead. Michael Logan Ware has been licensed to practice law in Texas since 1983. That's a very long time. Very long time. That is 43 years that he's been practicing law in Texas. For more than 4 decades, he has dedicated his career to criminal law, earning board certifications in criminal law and recognized as a Texas super lawyer for multiple years. But what truly separates Ware from many criminal defense attorneys is his work in the innocence movement. He has an entire organization called the Innocence Movement. And I will give you the website for that. It'll probably be in the description. Michael Ware is a co-founder and current executive director of the Innocence Project of Texas, an organization dedicated to identify and freeing individuals who have been wrongfully convicted. Since its founding, the organization has helped secure dozens of exonerations and releases for innocent Texans who were serving prison sentences for crimes they did not commit. The work requires a very specific skill set. You must be willing to challenge accepted narratives. You must be willing to re-examine evidence that others believe is settled. You must be willing to identify investigative mistakes, witness credibility issues, flawed forensic conclusions, and constitutional violations. Most importantly, you must be willing to ask one uncomfortable questions. What if the system got it wrong? That question has defined much of Michael Ware's career. And that is Michael Ware. Child, this team is getting bigger and bigger by the moment. Next in line, there's a young lady by the name of Brooke Hughes. Brooke Hughes, I believe, works for the attorney Ben Crump, and I believe she is stepping in this role with Karmelo Anthony as a person like a forerunner. She actually is going to be doing a lot of work. Brooke Cruz Esquire joined Ben Crump's law in 2023 as an attorney and the executive liaison to attorney Ben Crump. Attorney Cruz is a skillful litigator and advocate for the disenfranchised. She zealously defends and sought justice for hundreds of clients while serving as a public defender for the Felony Trial Division of the Harris County Public Defender's Office in Houston, Texas. Her devotion to safeguarding her clients' equal protection under the law resulted in numerous case dismissals and professional accolades, eventually earning the attention of Attorney Crump. In addition to Attorney Crump's litigation savvy, she is an entrepreneur and philanthropist. Attorney Cruz works for one of the largest insurance companies in America as a spokeswoman for media and community relations and as an independent agent. Her corporate skill set and business acumen suited her well and garnered much success in the insurance industry. However, Attorney Clue's ambition is fueled by challenging injustice and providing a voice to the voiceless, which ultimately led her to pursue civil rights litigation. Attorney Clues was born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, where she grew up watching her parents, both ministers and retired educators, serve the community as social justice advocates. Activists. She followed in their footsteps, graduating magna cum laude from the Grambling State University in Grambling, Louisiana. All right, HBCU, also her parents' alma mater. Attorney Clues obtained her Juris Doctorate from South Texas College of Law in Houston. While at South Texas, she excelled in criminal defense and trial advocacy clinics. Give me one second. Let me grab my glasses. She is also a certified mediator in the state of Texas. Her professional affiliations include the State Bar of Texas, National Bar Association, Houston Law Association, National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, Task Force on Police Accountability, Houston Area Urban League, and the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She holds licenses in Texas and Illinois. We welcome Brooke Close to the team. Next, we have a gentleman by the name of Sean. I don't want to mispronounce Sean's last name, but I probably will. Sean Derrida is what I'm going to say. He's a civil rights and criminal defense trial lawyer with over 100 jury trials. This is from his website. He has a lot of look like talking points. He's been on a lot of TV shows talking about what he's done. Actually, he was the first person to try one of the capital murders, and he used a defense that hung a jury. And he served as the lead defense counsel in that case, and it is called the Trans des Agura, I believe is how you pronounce it. I looked it up last night. Capital murder prosecution in the United States history to be tried before a jury. His client rejected a 50-year plea deal, went to trial, and the jury could not convict him, which is super important. He also represented another guy, a former University of Oklahoma NFL player, and that case also had the gentleman walk out free. Sean Derrida is a national recognized civil rights and criminal defense trial attorney based in Dallas, Texas, with over 100 jury trials, including some of the most high-profile murder and capital murder cases in the country. He is one of the most seasoned courtroom attorneys practicing today. He served as lead defense counsel in the first Trey Day Argua prosecution in the United States, a nationally covered case that ended in a hung jury. A passionate advocate for constitutional accountability, Derrida, I told you I was going to mess up this last name, representing individuals and families whose rights have been violated by those in power, victims of police brutality, excessive force, wrongful imprisonment, and systematic failures in the criminal justice system, bringing claims under the 1983 and First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments. A former Dallas County Assistant District Attorney, he has operated on every side of the system and uses that experience to fight for justice for those the system has failed. We welcome Mr. Sean Dorita to the case. He, I believe, is serving as an alternate. I believe is how they let me see how they word it. He's co-counsel. So lead counsel is Russell Wilson. Second chair is Michael L. Ware. Third chair is Gary Bledsoe. Co-counsel Brooke Close. Second co-counsel is Sean Dorita. I'm sorry. And third is Justin A. Moore. Let's talk about Justin, and we're going to get on off of here and get our day started. Justin Moore is also a civil rights attorney, born in Dallas, Texas. Justin Moore is a graduate of the Morehouse College, baby. Ain't nothing like a Morehouse, man. My nephew graduated from Morehouse. Beautiful school, great graduate. They have a unique graduation. If you've never experienced the lawn of the Morehouse College, you've got to go to one of their graduation. And at SMU Deedman School of Law, he studied human rights law at the University College at the University of Oxford in Oxford, UK. Moore served as a prosecutor at the Dallas County District Attorney's Office prior to establishing his own private practice, which focuses on criminal law, civil rights litigation, prisoner clemency, police brutality cases, sports contract negotiations, and campaign management. Some of Moore's cases have been featured in media outlets in Dallas-Fort Worth. His work has garnered national media attention in the New York Times, the Washington Post, Time, the NBC's Today Show, CBS Evening News, ABC Nightly News, BBC, CNN, Fox News, BET, and The Root. Through my practice, I seek not only to obtain justice for my clients, but I hope to use each as a tool to make our justice system equitable, and fair, for all who may come in contact with it, he says. Outside of his professional endeavors, Moore advocates for mental health awareness. We need more advocates for that, trust me. Criminal justice reform and social justice. He is a member of the BMW Foundation, Herbert Squatted World Responsible Leaders Network. Moore serves as a board member for the prestigious Dallas Institute of Humanities and Cultural Achievement Inspire Movement program, Motivate program, a unique second chance program for non-violent offenders. He is a partner for the social venture Partners Dallas. Along with his professional and philanthropic endeavors, Moore speaks regularly about criminal and social justice reform. This is Justin Moore. Y'all, the team seems to be strong. Let's just pray to God that they can get justice, whatever justice looks like. We have not ever been the fight that this did not occur at the hands of Karmelo Anthony. Our argument has always been, did he receive a fair trial? And I believe that this new legal team is going to try to help him ensure that he does receive a fair chance. As of now, Karmelo Anthony is sitting in a prison under the control of the Texas Department of Corrections, but we do know that an appeal is coming. Anywho, if no one told you today that they love you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I hope you have a great day, and you guys help someone, smile at someone along the way, and make their day a better day. I'll see you in the comment section. Bye-bye.